Good morning. You're listening to Instant Breakfast New Brunswick. I am your host, John Heinstein. This Thursday, January 3rd, 2019, we are going to listen in the new year to a whole bunch of brand new New Brunswick music. I hope you're rested and full after the holidays. I know that I am both in excess. We're going to start out 2019 with a mix of new New Brunswick tunes and old New Brunswick tunes. I'm going to start out with a tune from a brand new album by a New Brunswick artist from Le Goulet, which is near Shippagan, named Tommy Bulger. We played a little bit of Tommy Bulger earlier in the year. It was a demo version of the song that we're going to play now, Je Tombe. At its heart, I think it's a rock album, smatterings of folk and blues and country, but basically a rock album. Tommy Bulger has been around the music scene for a little while. He was the founding member of the folk quartet Zolas, very popular in its heyday. Studied music at the University of Moncton. And he's got a couple of people on this album that you would be familiar with if you've listened to this show or other shows that play local music. Matt Boudreau, who just came out with an excellent new album, Goland, and Chloe Bro, who is up for a number of Music New Brunswick awards this year and won several. So let's start out the morning with a rousing tune called Je Tombe, I Fall by Tommy Bulger. What a great tune from Tommy Bulger off his brand new 2018 self-titled album. We're going to move next to Moncton with a band named Tampa, who are fresh off their 2018 release, Belated Love. Just noticed that they put a new single on their Bandcamp page. This is something that's detached from their excellent album Belated Love, so an extra track thrown in for our listening pleasure. Tampa used to be called Danger Cats, the same members, new name, new sound. You'd probably recognize some of these members from other musical endeavors. Catherine Noel does vocals and bass. She's from Les Hey Babies. Mathieu Leblanc on guitar, Nick Leblanc on vocals, keys and guitar, and Marc-André Bellevaux on drums. So we're going to listen to this free-floating single called Unless/Intro Heartfelt.
His heart gets to his head. He pictures her in bed, and it starts messing with him. A chord could pull a different direction, but it won't make it stay. Think of her all day. Oh, get on, move on, move on.
That was Tampa with a new single called Unless/Intro Heartfelt. What a great tune. We're on a roll here with great tunes, and we are going to play something next by none other than our girl from Rosaireville off her 2014 album, Highways, Heartaches, and Time Well Wasted. Yes, we're talking about Lisa Leblanc, who Pop Matters says this is absolutely essential stuff, and you'll be glad to have not only heard it, but experienced it. It's indeed quite something. And Bob Mercereau says, Lisa Leblanc is a whirlwind on banjo, guitar, and vocals. She's a force, a dynamo, ripping into the songs with gusto, humor, and joy. And she is quite a musician, quite a banjo player. We're going to get a healthy sampling of her banjo playing in this tune, Gold Diggin' Hoedown. She actually went down to Louisiana to study old-time bluegrass banjo, Cajun dance, and flat-picking guitar, and she's just a tremendous musician, a tremendous songwriter, and this is a wonderful instance of what she calls trash folk, her high-energy, rough, rowdy, modern folk sound. And I mean, she's been well recognized. She is actually the biggest selling star on the East Coast. She sold over 140,000 records. She's been nominated at the 2016 Juno Awards for Contemporary Roots Album of the Year, the 2013 Juno Awards for the Francophone Album of the Year, and Why You Want to Leave Runaway Queen, her latest album, put out in 2016, didn't win, but it was on the 2017 Polaris Music Prize shortlist. So many well-deserved accolades for Lisa Leblanc. Let's take a listen to a tune off her 2014 album, Highways, Heartaches, and Time Well Wasted, Gold Diggin' Hoedown. Woo! That was Lisa Leblanc off Highway, Heartaches, and Time Well Wasted, a tune called Gold Diggin' Hoedown. Well, we're going to slow things down a little bit, because you can't help but slow things down after a tune like that. This next tune is by a musician named Simon Proulx, who's from Quebec City. And unlike most of the musicians that I play on this show, he has never actually lived in New Brunswick. However, he was on tour in New Brunswick in 2017, staying at the Rod Hotel in Moncton, right down on Main Street, and composed and recorded in that hotel room, room 230, between April 18th and April 23rd. He did one tune per day for 6 days and came out with an album which he called Chambre 230, room 230. He's a classical guitarist. He's been playing since he was 6, and although I normally don't play musicians who have no close connection to New Brunswick, I would like to think that since the entire album was composed, recorded, that there's something of the fabric of New Brunswick that's kind of worked its way into this album. So we're going to listen to a song titled 18 avril 217. So the 18th of April 2017, that was the day this song was composed, and also the title. Here we go, Simon Proulx from Chambre 230. That was Simon Proulx with a tune off Chambre 230 called 18 avril 217. 18th of April 2017. So you're listening to Instant Breakfast New Brunswick, CHSR 97.9 FM radio. It's Thursday, January 3rd, 2019, and I am your host, John Heinstein, bringing you the best of New Brunswick music, new and old. We have something new for you now by a Fredericton group called Wicked Vices, who just released a single off their upcoming EP called Wicked Vices. They are a rock quartet with a powerful female vocalist, some really great musicianship, and a sound that I think tips its hat to 80s groups like Heart. Take a listen, let me know if you agree. I think this is a really great single. Sinkin, Wicked Vices.
Temperatures are rising on the sinking boat. Trees just keep on passing anywhere the wind blows. Had me asking questions by the side of the road, drinking bottled water, searching AM radio. Bow down, my rebel soul. Mindset to overload. But that's the way the wind blows. But that's the way the wind Getting out of trouble, baby, that's my jam. Picking us apart like a day of rehab. Lay beside me now with your long black hair. I can hardly speak through the state of warfare. Bow down, my rebel soul. Mindset to overload. But that's the way the wind blows. But that's the way the wind blows. But that's the way the wind blows. Bow down, my rebel soul. Mindset to overload. But that's the way the wind blows. But that's the way the wind blows. But that's the way the wind blows. Answering my questions by the side of the road.
That was Wicked Vices with a brand new single called Sinkin. Kirsten Vautour delivering those potent vocals. Chris Hawkins on the guitar. We're going to move to something a little bit more electronic with a musician called Ophelya, who just released in 2018 a new album called Beast. This is the third album by Dakota Quinn out of St. John. It's kind of ambient electronic music. There's a lot of hardware synthesizers in there. You can tell by the fatness of the sound. And it says on her Bandcamp page it uses a combination of analog and digital recording methods. So one of those would be quarter-inch tape. It's very kind of droning, atmospheric music. This tune in particular that we're going to listen to, Beneath, I think it would make a great soundtrack to a sci-fi film. Take a listen to this. Beneath by Ophelya. That was Beneath by Ophelya off her 2018 album Beast. Well, we're going to change the mood a little bit with a little bit of Acadian reggae music by a band out of Moncton called Papaya, who put out an excellent album in 2016 called Acadian Reggae Music. They're Clément Dugas, Marc Thériault, Ashley McNally, and Fredericton Hetu and Jérémy Doiron. You might think that reggae and Acadian music is a strange mix, but there are plenty of French colonies in the Caribbean, the French West Indies, French Guiana, Haiti. So it makes sense that there would be a French influence on reggae music and that it would work its way up to Atlantic Canada. This is some really great reggae here, and it's very, very well recorded. Read an interview with the band where they spent 4 months working and reworking the material because they actually took their material to France at La Frette Studio, which is a well-known facility that people like Feist and Nick Cave have recorded in. They spent a lot of time researching the kind of sound that they wanted and the studios that might produce that sound, and decided upon this, and knowing that they had to go into that studio as well rehearsed as possible. It took them under 2 weeks. I've got a quote here actually that describes the recording process. Listen to this. If anything, we just wanted to be prepared. We knew that we were going to have just under 2 weeks to bring this record to life once we arrived in France. So we wanted to take the opportunity to reimagine the whole concept behind the album, chart the material, and work out individual parts before we went on the clock. We even went so far to research the exact equipment that the studio had and installed programs to replicate the gear we would be working with. A lot of work went into this album, and there was a great payout for that work. Let's listen to a tune off their album Acadian Reggae Music. This is Papaya with High on the Tide.
manger bonbon. Il fait chaud, chaud, chaud à la plage, man. Il fait beau, 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 we get high on the tide. We did it that on day. We did it. We did it that on day. We did it. We did it that on day. We did it. We did it that on day. We did it. We get high on the tide. We get high on the tide. We get high on the tide. Where'd you come, where'd you go, plant the seed now, let it grow, mange pom pom, il fait chaud, chaud, à la plage, man, il fait beau, beau, we get high on the tide. We did it that on day, we did it we did it that on day, we did it we did it that on day, we did it we did it that on day, we did it we get high on the tide, we get high on the tide, we get high on the tide.
Papaya with High on the Tide. And I'm assuming that that's not high on Tide Pods, but on the actual ocean tide. But you never know. So next we're going to St. John. Brand new 2018 album by Wrote. Wrote is Erin Muir. She must be cut from a different cloth than most musicians because this is her second album this year. She put out the excellent Each Other's Skins earlier in 2018, and now as the year waned, she put out another album titled Laid Myself Down Again. Very minimalist folk. Erin plays acoustic guitar, a little bit of bass and piano on this album, and she's accompanied by only one other musician, Corey Bonnevie, who plays some electric guitar and organ and percussion. Very close, personal music. I noticed that Johnny played this tune, Lupins, in the previous set, but it's a great tune, so we're going to play it again. A little piece of trivia, the album photos are by Ninke Izurita of Lad and Lasses. So here we go. Wrote Erin Muir off her brand new album, Laid Myself Down Again, a tune called Lupins.
Time never seems right, but I'll hold on to the thought, 'cause it's nice to think the world might slow down for us. Well, maybe we could kid ourselves tonight. 3 records in and a bottle of wine. When I glanced over, you had fallen asleep. You looked so peaceful, so serene. As I stepped into the morning breeze, oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, too busy watching the river as it rose and flowed and flirted with the sand. Never rooted, never stagnant. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh.
That was Wrote off her new album Laid Myself Down Again with a tune called Lupins. Next we're going to move to Moncton, another new album by a band named Proulx called Wobbly H in the Basement of Death. These guys are essentially punk music, got that really short, raw, intense, very tongue-in-cheek music, doesn't take itself seriously. They describe themselves as four maritime chuds playing greasy rock and roll, cat hair and carpet spice, give them the tuna tingles. We're going to listen to a tune called Poppers, which is a drug, amyl nitrates. You inhale them for recreational purposes, gives you a short and very intense rush. And at 1 minute and 23 seconds, I think this song intends to be just that. So here we go, Proulx with Poppers.
I
That was Julie Doiron off her Juno-winning album, a tune called Dance Music. So, we're getting close to the end of the hour. You've been listening to Instant Breakfast, New Brunswick. I'm your host, John Heinstein. We've got time possibly for a couple more. So we're going to go to St. John next with a brand new album by a guy named Sean Desmond. He's a folk acoustic singer-songwriter. Just put out an album called Spontaneous Idolatry. Really good acoustic guitar player, good songwriter, kind of lo-fi production that really fits the music that he's producing. So let's listen to a tune here called She Is What I Was Before. Sean Desmond.
The wind comes rumbling through the reeds, somersaulting through the air, pouring life and spreading seeds everywhere. And this is how the birds and bees preserve their name, 'cause in the breeze they're bowing without shame. And I was stone cold in the storm, berated by its blows, fighting off the norm of my prose. Above my field of the past hunger and care, shed my shield, now I'm dancing down the stairs. My soul was locked inside a chest, born into the sky, but with her I tested that blind eye. The latch cracked and contorted, the light and color on the faces there before it. It's the first thing I ever saw. The night had passed and morning came, dust running through the rays. The room was just the same as yesterday. With knees weak and heavy, they began to shake, 'cause love is raining, the levee's gonna break. I once was right with her, she's cold and core, but now I'm disfigured, she's what I was before.
That was Sean Desmond off his brand new album, Spontaneous Idolatry, with a tune called She Is What I Was Before. So we're going to go to Moncton next, a band called Diablo Strange, who have been around since 2010. They say that they're a power trio with a vision of making old school heavy rock with a modern twist. The band has taken influences ranging from classic rock, metal, blues, and punk and fused them all together tastefully to create their own sound. So they're a trio, great riffs, very melodic music, plenty of dynamics. Testimony to them that they've been together for 8 years, not an easy thing to do as a band. Let's listen to their 2018 album, A Lesson Never Learned, with a tune called Rattle Your Bones. Yeah, a little rockin' from Diablo Strange from their new album, A Lesson Never Learned, a tune called Rattle Your Bones. Well, our morning is pretty much up. You've been listening to Instant Breakfast New Brunswick. I'm your host, John Heinstein. I will see you again next week. Going to leave you with a little bit more Tommy Bulger, the first tune off his self-titled album called Never Forget.